Hello, Anonymous MGTOW here. I expect this video to get taken down, but whatever. Let's get to the point. Violence has always been the answer throughout history. Even the Bible tells us this. Now, I'm not very religious, as I've stated in previous videos, but I'm aware of the great truths which the Bible will convey to you if you're willing to read it. Even I haven't read the whole Bible, but I just know parts of it. So think about it. Like in the last 50 years or so, we've all had this violence is not the answer being pushed upon us. Well, you see, there are people at the top who would not last very long at all in an ancient society, as they would have already been killed for their great crimes against us, that have been taken to the centre of the town and just strung up, or maybe beheaded, who knows, maybe just bashed with a rock. But the fact is, they would have been removed. But in our modern day society, these people are protected, especially by the legal system, which only appears, from my experience and observations, to protect those at the top, while penalising those at the bottom. As you may know, like many, especially cases of paedophilia, a lot of people at the top, they sort of get away with it, but if you're sort of lower down, you're going away forever. That's just an example. For those who are more familiar with the Bible, it never said do not kill, it said do not murder. Remember, murder is the killing of another human being with no good reason. But if there is a good reason, for instance, like they're an enemy invading, or you know they are a murderer beyond reasonable doubt, then killing is fine as far as the Bible is concerned, if they deserve it. Now, this government in the UK is actively trying to betray, this so-called democracy. So this is the main point of this video. So they're sort of saying, should we have a second referendum? Well, hang on. You haven't even done what people wanted from the first referendum. So you're telling me that you'll care about a second referendum, but you don't care about the results from the first one. I'm sorry, but this is madness, okay? Now, I suspected this system was sort of bullshit from ever since I was little, because, I always used to question, like, why does money have value? It's just a piece of paper. Oh, well, it's because the government says it's worth something else. So if I say this piece of toilet paper is worth £10, does that mean I can use it? Oh, well, no, because blah, 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 you're not the government. So this really is the final nail in the coffin for me. Like, after the 29th of March, if nothing's changed, then, well, I don't even know, but I just know there's a lot of angry people here. Interestingly, you may know of the thing that happened in New Zealand. Someone basically shot up a mosque. I don't know if that's a false flag. I mean, it seems legit so far. It also seems like a very convenient time. So we're 2 years before 2021, when you may have looked into Agenda 21, where, there's supposed to be like a great change. Well, what better way to have a great change than to sort of ramp up the violence, and then someone will come, like in 2 years' time, and say, hey, I can solve all this violence. Here's a system. No one can get away with violence. All you need to do is put a little mark on your hand, or your arm, or something like that. The mark of the beast. Even if you're not religious. Let me rephrase that, in case you aren't. A microchip, or maybe a barcode, although it would probably be like in the form of a chip. When you go to pay for something, instead of using your card, you'll just put your hand on it and it'll go beep beep. But then, of course, there's no escape then, because they can always know who you are. You can be tracked, because I'm sure it will be able to be like, well, who's that guy? Oh, he's blah 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 blah. There'll be no hiding from it. Now, you may think this is crazy. I'm just saying, take a look. What do you see? More restrictions, more controls, more things like CCTV everywhere. It's building up to that. Now, I didn't believe it at first, but I'm telling you, there's something going on, okay? So, now that this thing happened in New Zealand, this shooting, they suddenly ramped up the security around here. And also, guess what's happening soon? Well, the 29th of March. So a good excuse to up the security here. I mean, this happened on the other side of the planet in New Zealand. Gun laws are so restrictive here, so why are they concerned here? Like, why? I mean, you can't even get those big machine guns here, let alone a small gun. I mean, yeah, there's probably ways, but you'd never get a massive gun like this guy had in New Zealand. You just wouldn't get it here. So, at the end of the day, we are animals, really. Although I'd like to think we're slightly higher, but sometimes we have to go back down to our instincts to fix things. There's only one true solution: violence. When you've nothing more to lose, especially, such as in Londonistan, or London as it used to be called, where there's hardly any job opportunities, house prices are so high, like, you might as well just forget about it. When you've nothing to lose, and you realise that, I don't even want to live in this place anyway. Why would I want to live here anyway? I can't even speak without risking being arrested. You don't want to live in a fucked system like this. Then you don't mind risking your life to change things, because even if you die, at least you've died trying, because you know that if you fail, you wouldn't want to live here anyway. So you might as well go, but at least you've made an attempt. But these people are weak at the top. They're weaker than you think. They like you to think they're very strong, but they get scared very easily. Just think after this thing that's happened. Let's assume the guy is legit. I mean, I think he might be, because I've looked into a bit more. We got more information now, and the media doesn't really know how to react. Like, it's almost trying to censor what's gone on. Like the video, I haven't seen the video because I don't really fancy seeing it. But I know they've sort of been pulling it off sites. There is obviously something's gone wrong and they want to get it down. So maybe he is legit. But I'm going to take it with a grain of salt still. But they're weak. We can change things if we want to. Just depends if you're willing to take the risk. Good luck, everybody, because 2021 is coming soon, and I ask everybody else to also take anything that happens with a grain of salt. Anything. If there's sort of any major events from now on, always look at it and think, is that a false flag? Are they trying to frame something, or is it true? You would never know, really. But, goodbye.